Marvel Studios, do better. I speak German. I understand it. So if you're going to use the German language and have an American actor or actress speak that language, make sure I don't need to check the subtitles to see what actually was said. Marvel isn't the only studio, by the way, with that problem. The Dutch spoken by Diana Prince in the first Wonder Woman movie was so bad it turned a heavily emotional scene into slapstick comedy for a full theater. Just don't do it. It takes the native speakers right out of it. Hello, and welcome to the Review of Champions. It's time to talk about Hawkeye Episode 4, Partners, am I right? With me are, all the way from down under, Mr. Shadowiz.
Hello, everyone.
Sitting on his throne in Hades, Mr. Lord Deathman.
What's up, everybody?
And the fan without fear, Mr. Taylor.
Hey.
Before we're going to start, I would like to ask you all to hit that like and subscribe button and maybe join our forum on sokar.freeforums.net. It's a nice little forum. If you join up and you want, you can join the podcast, you can join the review. You're more than welcome to do so. We're going to talk spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode, go check that out first and then come back to the video. Well, let's just dive right into it. Shadowish, tell me, how did you like episode 4 of Hawkeye?
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good episode. Like, you get to, I guess, explores the characters more. Like you see, I guess, Hawkeye's frame of mind. You can see that he's still dealing with Natasha. But yeah, overall, it was a great episode. Like, it's definitely more character work, and there's quite a bit of action towards the end, which was pretty great. Yeah, all around, pretty good episode.
Yeah. Lord Deathman?
I enjoyed this episode. A little bit more laid back in the pacing. I kind of liked the break from the action, and I kind of liked getting into Clint Hawkeye's sort of inner landscape. It was cool to hear him talk about his life and his experiences as a hero. So, yeah, I kind of enjoyed this. I liked the repartee between the characters. I thought everybody was sort of really charming in this episode.
Taylor?
Yeah, I liked the episode a lot. There was a lot of insight into the characters, not just the main ones. I mean, mostly the main ones, but also a little bit on Jack and Kate's mother. And of course, at the end of the episode, it ended on a pretty pivotal moment for the rest of the show. So yeah, a good episode overall.
Yeah, we got the moment we were expecting after the post-credit scene of Black Widow. Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova showed up. I love that. The thing I love the most about this episode is when you have watched Marvel Legends episode for Hawkeye, and now you get this episode, you actually see how much depth they gave to this character all over the MCU, starting from the first 4 movie up until now. There has been a lot going on with Clint, and I think I realized that for the first time really in this episode, and I actually absolutely love that. The moment where he was talking about his family being blipped, Ned, of course, falling off that cliff, and being Ronin. That was some really deep stuff, and I really liked it. Well, Taylor, were there also things you didn't like about the episode, or did you just enjoy it overall?
I enjoyed it overall. Like I said, there was a lot of character development. The scene where Kate and Clint are in his apartment, kind of having their Christmas party, decorating the Christmas tree. Him teaching her a few things along the way, like how to turn off the TV by throwing that thing and everything. So yeah, a lot of good character moments there. And then of course, it got serious, like you were just talking about, where he's talking about his past and the things he's gone through with his family and during the blip and that. I thought that was all good. And then of course, there was that little piece with the getting help from the LARPers. The LARPers are back again. Got help getting some arrows because he was out of arrows, so they had to get arrows out of the out of the police evidence locker or something. Good. One of those LARPers is a cop, and that's always helpful. And then, of course, I went into the little mini mission, and I thought that was all handled pretty well. I thought it was pretty cool reveal when they realized it was Echo's apartment, and then the quick fight scene, first two fight scenes, and then the slide across the street, and then the three-way fight scene, which of course we later found out was Yelena and Maya and Clint and Kate all in sort of a melee there, and it was nobody does action scenes like Marvel, and it went really well. And I thought that one of the key moments in that was when Kate got knocked over the side, and of course Clint went there to pull her up, and you could tell they didn't have to say a word. They didn't have to do a clip of a flashback or anything. You could tell by the look in his eye he was thinking of that moment where Nat fell off the cliff and he couldn't save her.
You know how they did that very cleverly? They put on Alan Silvestri's score at that moment from the cliff scene. They put that on that under that scene.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think the whole episode was handled really well. And it was sort of a slower episode. The action scene was relatively short, but this is the logical point in the story. Slow things down, do a little character development, a little team building, a little bonding, and then that break there where Clint decides, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not putting you in danger anymore. So now we've got to deal with that before whatever the big resolution is in the final episode. So it's all set up well. Yeah.
Well, Trish Tran, the executive producer for this show, said that episode 5 was the big one. So we'll have to wait and see. Lord Deathman, did you have any issues with the episode, or elaborate on what you liked a lot?
I didn't have any issues, or at least I didn't have any serious issues with this episode at all. Like I said, I kind of liked slowing down the pace. It's a busy holiday season for me, so it was kind of great to watch an episode where I didn't have to keep track of like 50,000 Easter eggs, across billions of frames.
We have to do that next week, probably.
That's going to be a big, watch the episode 2 times, freeze frame, that kind of thing, cross-reference your floppies.
I was actually talking about that. There's a movie coming out next week as well.
Right, and a movie. So... But what I really liked about this episode is the intrigue, and getting a little bit more into the Duquesne character, him being the CEO of this company that's kind of running the tracksuits and all that kind of stuff. So they are kind of building the foundation for all of these kinds of reveals that I'm hoping that they get later on. But again, this was like family holiday stuff and going a little bit into Kate's sort of, domestic situation with her mother and a new potential stepfather, and then going into a little bit with what Clint has been dealing with being away from his family, and kind of contemplating his life as a weapon, which again comes from the source material, which I continue to be impressed by, that they didn't really mutilate or change the source material significantly. I mean, they had to make it work with the events of the MCU, but beyond that, it's fairly close to what you got in the comic book. And I'm always game for that. If anything, the last fight, that they kind of, the set piece that they do for us is excellent. I'm not complaining that they gave it to us at all. But if I had anything against this particular episode is, I don't even really think that they needed it. I think they could have pushed that all into episode 5 and made this one a completely sort of, sit down episode. But again, just for Florence Pugh's face acting in that last fight, it was totally worth them putting that in there and spending the last 7-8 minutes on that sequence. It was really fun, and really dramatic.
Mhm. That shake of her head where she shakes no towards Kate was a GIF, whatever, within
Had to be.
5 minutes.
Yeah, had to be.
Literally 5 minutes after I saw the episode, I saw that GIF already showing up on Twitter.
Yeah. And when you see her face when Clint pulls off the mask, I'm like, that's acting.
Mhm.
No words. That's acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, great episode all the way around. But I think if anything, they could have kept it at a completely slower pace, and I would have still been satisfied with it.
Yeah, but I actually agree with what Taylor said. The action scene was shot great. I think Bert and Birdie are doing a really good job in shooting action in this show.
Is there
well,
anyone here who's kind of liking the new Black Widow fight style better than the old Black Widow fighting style? I'm kind of really enamored of Florence Pugh's moves and how they've made it really distinct from Scarlett Johansson's version of the Black Widow. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I haven't seen her head scissoring anybody yet, so that's a nice change of pace. Biz, you have to have some negatives, right? Come on, it can't be all good.
No, I don't actually have any negatives about this. Like, it was a slow episode, but it did that for a reason. We got to see more of the characters. And obviously, it is Christmas after all, set in Christmas. So it was good to see like like the references to Christmas like movies, like with the DVDs. You get the ugly sweaters, and also even like Kate Bishop had like some errands to run, like then that like with her mission that was that kind of like symbolizes Christmas in a way as well. Like you're busy doing errands and stuff. Yeah, and then also like you got to see like with the Christmas spirit with what's that guy's name? The swordsman, yeah, exactly. Serenading Kate's mother, which was like a kind of like a pivotal moment because it kind of warmed up Kate to her like fiance. So that was that was interesting. But then later on, obviously we found out that he could be attached to the tracksuit mafia, but it is interesting because the mother wanted Hawkeye to forget about the case, so and then she had to make an urgent call right after that. So that's interesting. Like, could that theory be true? Where the mother is Madame Mask or somehow villainously involved later on? I mean, it's a possibility. There's a hint there.
Let's just say, if you're gonna put the tracksuit mafia into a dummy corporation and you register that in your system, it would be handy to put in a name as CEO, which maybe even doesn't know he's there in that system.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. Why would you do that?
It was a good episode. It also kind of reminded me when in Age of Ultron, it kind of slowed down. And then we got to explore the characters like Mindframe and like take a beat from the action and like how it was all like fast paced. So yeah, it was a good episode. It had a lot of reminders also with Natasha, like you mentioned with the music. So yeah, I have no real faults with this at all.
No, okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Indeed, in the beginning of the episode, it struck me that indeed Kate's mom didn't say so you will leave my daughter alone. No, you will leave the case alone.
Yeah.
What's it to you? I mean, that was a very strong hint, of course, that she is not who she appears to be. Lord Deathman, you had a follow-up.
Just a quick shout out to all those who have made the mistake that Kate made with a non-dry erase marker on the surfer, where it does. So I stand for that, and I thought it was a great gag because it's happened to me.
Yeah, you can always put a large plant in front of it. Taylor?
Yeah, I think one important part of this is we got a little bit of insight into Clint's wife, Laura.
Yes, that's right.
She's more than just a happy housewife.
Yeah,
I'm
hold
pretty
that
sure she
thought.
was a Shield
Hold-
agent.
Hold that thought.
All right, I'm holding that thought.
Okay. Before we're going to get to that, I think we should rate the episode. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna give this episode an absolute 10 out of 10. Well, Taylor, you've been very royal with your 10s so far. So let's hear it for episode 4.
Episode 4 gets a 9 out of 10. It's a great episode, but no tracksuit mafia, so I can't give them a 10 out of 10 without any tracksuits.
There was Tracksuit Mafia. Kazi was there.
Oh, that's true.
That's right.
true.
He was.
And that was actually a good scene in the car with him and Clint. It was a good scene.
Yeah.
But he wasn't wearing a tracksuit, so it doesn't count. Sticking with 9.
Okay. Peace.
I'll give this a strong 9 as well. I liked it. Good episode.
Good. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Lord Deathman, what is your rating for episode 4?
I'm going to give this a solid 9.5 out of 10. Again, the timing of this episode is really great because it is around the holiday season. And if you are hanging out with your family and, sort of catching up on the year in review, it felt like that's what they were doing in the episode. So, kudos for Disney and timing this out right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just move on to our section called Cannon Fodder. Cannon Fodder. And in Cannon Fodder, we discuss those crazy fan theories we find online or are sent to us or are put up on the board. And we had one this week. Arch, our dear friend, I promised I would put this out here. I have said it before in my opening statement, but now, I can't get around it anymore. Taylor, they're gonna give Hawkeye the helmet, or at least a comic accurate suit or something like that. So, buy, sell, or hold. Are they gonna do it?
I am going to buy. There is going to be a scene where he wears something similar to the old comics costume, and he's going to put on some type of helmet that approximates that helmet as well. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be treated as a joke, whereas I want to see him actually wear that helmet for real. But it'll be better than nothing, I suppose.
Lord Deathman.
It'll be akin to the Scarlet Witch Halloween costume in WandaVision.
Okay. Lord Deathman, buy, sell, or hold. They're going to give Hawkeye the helmet.
They're going to give Hawkeye the helmet. I'm going to sell on this one. I don't think we're ready to go there just yet with the character and the helmet.
Okay. Oh, that's a quick and good answer. Biz.
It's Christmas, so I'm going to buy and be full of hope and see Hawkeye wear that helmet. Yes.
And have a certain squid miss out on it. Oh. That would be very nasty if Marvel did that. Anyway. The second fanfare we're going to discuss was already hinted by Taylor, but I'm going for Lord Deathman first. The Rolex that is heavily being targeted in the show was actually Laura Barton's, and she used to be an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and somehow that connects her to that Rolex. And it's not going to be some kind of anonymous Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. No. She had a different name in her past. Bobby Morse, a.k.a. Mockingbird.
That's a tough one. This one's a tough one because we've had a Bobby Morse on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah.
We actually did get a Mockingbird there. I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy short on this one. But I will say that I do not think that Hawkeye's wife is Mockingbird. She may be an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Probably not like a, an action hero agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but maybe somebody in logistics, something like that. But yes, I am going to buy a S.H.I.E.L.D. connection, and I am going to buy that the Rolex is her property or somehow tied to her.
Yeah, if she were to be Bobby Morse, that would actually put the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being canon in very much danger. It already is because of the Darkhold, but yeah. Taylor, Laura Barton was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Rolex is first, and was she Bobby Morse, aka
Yeah,
Mockingbird?
I pretty much agree with Lord Deathman on this. I think it's almost certain that she was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. of some kind, an intel agent or analyst or something, and that's probably how they met. But I don't think she's going to be Mockingbird. They're not going to They're not going to drop that name. I don't think she's going to be Mockingbird. And I don't think, as far as the Rolex goes, I mean, there's some connection definitely to Clint and Laura with that Rolex. As far as it being her property specifically, I don't think so. I just think that it relates to some event in their past, related to their time in S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, I mean, I'll buy as far as she's definitely an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Rolex has some type of connection to their past.
Okay. Yes. Buy, sell, or hold on the theory that Laura Barton was an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and was Bobby Morse in her past.
Yeah, she'll probably have a connection to S.H.I.E.L.D. or some kind of secret organization. But yeah, as for the watch, I'm a little bit confused by that. Like, where did they pull that from? Like, it's from the Avengers compound that wasn't destroyed or something. I don't know. I'm a bit confused to that. But as for being Mockingbird, I hope not. I don't think so either. I mean, Mockingbird, yeah, we've seen her in S.H.I.E.L.D., so yeah, I'm a bit attached to that character. But yeah.
There's always the possibility that she was a Mockingbird and passed the baton on to Bobby Morse. That also is, of course, a possibility. But, okay, fans, you heard it here. We are buying she was an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but if she was Mockingbird, we don't think so. And the last theory we're going to discuss deals with Kate's aunt. Why? Well, in her apartment, Kate and Clint are hiding at the moment, and well, there is a theory about the identity of Kate's aunt. She is Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine. You can call her Val, but don't call her Val. Lord Deathman, let's go to you first for this theory. Kate's aunt is actually Val.
I'm going to sell on this one. I do think that Kate's aunt is connected to organized crime in some way. This would follow the source material, and if the show is going to continue to do a job of at least picking up some of the major beats from the comic book, she's going to be involved in the underworld, but I do not think that she is Val. So that's a sell.
Okay. Biz?
I'd say I don't understand this theory. Like, we've already seen Val.
Yeah,
so I don't.
It's going to be revealed that
Yeah.
Val is actually also Kate's aunt.
And
she's wearing one of those pull-away masks.
Masks. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We haven't seen Kate's aunt yet, so she doesn't need to wear a mask. So
fair enough. Yeah, that's a bit too out there. I mean, I believe that she might be Madame Mask, but being Val, I'm going to say no. Yeah, I'll sell that.
Okay. Taylor, buy, sell, or hold. Kate's aunt is actually Valentina.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea on this one, so I'll sell. That was completely out of left field as far as I'm concerned.
A little bit.
Okay.
I thought the aunt only existed so that there would be an apartment available for them to hang out in for purposes.
Could be.
I thought it was a writing tool.
But if it's Kate's mom's sister, it could be the person that Kate's mom was talking to on the phone after Clint left. Yeah. So there are several connections, and Val is involved. She sent Yelena towards Clint. So it's not completely out of left field, at least to me. But anyway, well, is there anything we would like to discuss further before I close up our review?
I'd just like to give a shout out to again to Yelena, such a dynamic character. One of my favorite parts of Black Widow, the movie, and now to see her, make it into the Disney Plus series. She really elevated that episode, to another level the minute that mask came off. So again, no complaints about having that final fight scene, even though it kind of left you frustrated because it ended there. But I'm sure next week's is going to be action packed.
Absolutely, totally agree. Well, I think Biz and Taylor have nothing. Then I will just conclude.
Actually, I would like to say something. Sorry. In relation to Kazi, yeah, like Taylor said, that was a pretty good scene with him and Clint. But it also seems like Hawkeye was trying to kind of manipulate him too, because it's clear that Kazi is unhappy with his position because I think he's been in the organization longer or something, and it seems like he's angling for the top job, or at least, yeah, at the very least, not happy with how things are run. So it's interesting that, I mean, in the future maybe he could try and make a play for the top job. So that's what I'd like to mention anyway.
Yeah, we are getting an Echo show, so would make sense. Lord Defman?
Yeah, I had one question, I guess, for the panel at large. Would be curious to hear opinions there. We're 4 episodes into the series, and I was really curious to know if, had you not known that there was going to be an Echo show, would you think one was justified based on what you've seen of the character already?
To me, no.
Yeah, that's a no for me.
Because,
but who knows? The last 2 episodes could really bring that one home.
I get that there is a connection with Hawkeye, and she's a little bit more than the rest of the TSM. If Kate can use that shortcut, so can I. But there's not much there, and I mean, yeah, she tied them to a circus ride, a carnival ride. I'm sorry, and did some questioning, chased them through New York, and she kicked some butt on a rooftop. But there's not much that justifies a complete series. But maybe after 2 more episodes, I will be thinking differently. But I don't see why.
Yeah.
I mean, I have I don't know anything about the character in the comics. For all I know, she's got tons of great stories already written that are in the comics somewhere that they can then build on. They don't necessarily have to do everything in this series to justify giving her another series.
Yeah, but usually it's based on fan favorite character or something. When they take a side character and give them the lead in their own show. And that hasn't happened for me yet.
Yeah, it doesn't really justify it. I mean, I'll definitely still watch it. I'll check out the pilot. It's just like with Hawkeye, that was the least that I was interested in all the Marvel shows that were coming out. So I figured, okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, why not? I'm sure Marvel would do the character justice. But yeah.
Yeah,
really
if they commit themselves to a show about this character, I have no doubt that it is going to meet a certain standard in terms of their production quality on it. My thought was I just wanted to see if everyone felt like, oh, I demand to see an Echo show now, based on what I saw in those 4 episodes about her. I'm not quite feeling that way, but would totally respect anybody else who felt differently.
I mean, I think if nothing else, just having her here simply saves them time on the first episode of showing us her backstory again. We've already got that, so we can go straight into the story with the series.
Yeah, and if there is any truth in those rumors about Kingpin, Daredevil, blah blah blah, then that would immediately elevate that show to something very interesting, of course. But for now, those are only rumors, and we need to see if there's some truth behind that.
Yeah. I'm thinking there's a big Echo surprise coming, maybe final episode that really cements the idea that we need to continue to see her story.
Yeah, maybe in 1.5 week time we will be screaming, we need that Echo show now and not in 2023. But yeah, we just have to wait and see. I will try to conclude our review for episode 4 of Hawkeye Partners, am I right? Again. Before we finish, I would like to ask you all to hit that subscribe button and notification bell on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page. Join the forum on Sukkar. That way you will never miss us and we won't have to miss you. Bye.